This tutorial is all about the influences that human activity, particularly in terms of industry, has had on the atmosphere, and about pollutant gases, and three in particular. Here we see a local power station. This produces a great deal of steam, which is harmless, but it also produces from the large chimney a certain amount of smoke from the burning of coal, and this can produce, for example, carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. Burning of fuels like petrol and diesel in cars is also very polluting to the air. This picture showing a freeway in the United States of America shows the photochemical smog that can be formed when those gases that come from the exhaust mix with the fog that often surrounds coastal towns. Car exhausts produce carbon monoxide, a toxic gas, and also nitrogen oxide, again a toxic gas, producing this smog and also contributing towards acid rain. Car exhaust can also produce very small amounts of sulfur dioxide, which contribute towards acid rain. Industry also produces large amounts of toxic, poisonous gases which go into the atmosphere. You need to know a little about three pollutant gases: carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide, the harm they do to the environment, and also what we can do to try to stop them entering the atmosphere. So let's deal with each of those gases in turn. Carbon monoxide is a gas produced by the incomplete combustion of fuels, for example in car engines. Carbon monoxide is a toxic, poisonous gas, and it can kill. Oxides of nitrogen are also produced in car engines, where the high temperatures within the engine cause the oxygen and nitrogen in the air to combine together. Oxides of nitrogen, when released into the atmosphere, can cause photochemical smog, a picture of which we saw earlier. It also can react with the oxygen and water vapor in the air to produce acids like nitric acid, which fall as acid rain. Sulfur dioxide is produced when fuels containing sulfur burn, for example coal in power stations, and to a small extent there are small amounts of sulfur in fuels for cars. So when sulfur dioxide is made, it gets into the atmosphere and reacts with water vapor in the air to produce sulfuric acid, and this falls as acid rain. So oxides of nitrogen and sulfur dioxide both produce acid rain. Acid rain has various effects. It causes the erosion of various rocks containing calcium carbonate, for example limestone and marble. It causes metals to corrode more quickly. In lakes it kills fish and other aquatic life, and it can also kill trees in forests. You also need to know a little about how the pollutants are removed, in other words, how we prevent them getting into the air in the first place. It's important that atmospheric pollution is controlled because it is so harmful to the environment. So we need to know a little about how the catalytic converter attached to a car exhaust can remove some of these gases from the air. For petrol cars, the catalytic converter is a part of the exhaust system, which is designed to convert some of the pollutant gases in the exhaust into more favourable gases. It contains a catalyst, and a catalyst is a substance that makes a chemical reaction go faster than it would do normally, and yet can be used again and again. The catalytic converter here in the car changes carbon monoxide, that poisonous gas, into carbon dioxide. Now, carbon dioxide is not great news going into the atmosphere because it contributes to global warming, but it's considerably better than the alternative carbon monoxide. It also changes nitrogen oxide, NO, into nitrogen gas, which, because it's in the air normally, is a good thing. So, carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide make carbon dioxide and nitrogen. This happens in a catalytic converter on the car exhaust. Some past paper questions. Carbon monoxide is made when propane burns in a shortage of air. Put a tick in the box next to the problem caused by carbon monoxide. It's poisonous to humans. Car engines make carbon monoxide and oxides of nitrogen. Carbon monoxide and oxides of nitrogen are pollutants. A catalytic converter decreases the amount of these pollutants released. Look at the table. The table shows the amounts of these pollutants released. Colin owns a Vauxhall Astra. He drives his car on a 100-kilometre journey. What mass of carbon monoxide is made during the journey? Well, we see that 0.192 grams of carbon monoxide are made for every kilometre of the journey, and as he's travelling 100 kilometres, the mass would be equal to 100 times 0.192 grams equals 19.2 grams. That's why it's important to take a calculator into your science exam. Oxides of nitrogen are pollutants in the air. Write down one problem caused by oxides of nitrogen in the air. I'm going to write down photochemical smog. But you could have just as easily written acid rain or some of the other allowable answers on that question.